Welcome to Sportsline, brought to you by Ace Hardware, New Kensington, AKLC Studios in Leechburg, Arnold Furniture, 5th Avenue, Buffalo Bills, New Kensington, Fazio's Deli and Meats in Arnold, Highland Tire, Torretta and Natrona Heights, Mattio's Pizza and Subs, Brackenridge Heights, Resevich Family Funeral Homes, Lower Burl in Arnold, 380 Discount Warehouse, Murraysville, Tower Auto in Blawnox, and Westmoreland Insurance Services of New Kensington.
And a pleasant good evening, everybody. Welcome once again to Sportsline Trivia. Bob Tattern here. Mike Pavlik joins me tonight. By the way, we'll give you a few weeks' notice on this. On May 26th, which is a Monday, I believe May 26th, 25th, what is it, Mike?
May 25th is Memorial Day Monday.
Okay, on the 25th, we will do the show.
Okay.
All right?
Yes. We've done that in the past.
Yeah, I just want to make sure everybody knows. So that's what? 2-week notice, 3-week notice?
3 weeks away.
3 weeks
Can
away.
you believe Memorial Day is 3 weeks away already? Here we go. Headlong into summer, whether you're ready or not. Today was warm. I'm not complaining. It was beautiful. But,
absolutely great.
A beautiful couple of days we've had. We deserve it considering as cold and nasty as it's been.
And folks, if you're going to call the program, it's 724-236-0430. All right? Give us a call. I know that on Monday nights we stream. Thursday nights we're on the cable. If you're watching on a Thursday night, you won't be able to get through on the phone, but try Monday, okay?
Yeah, jot it down.
So again, Mike, give them the number one more time.
724-236-0430. Write it down. If you're watching on Thursday night on television, which I know a lot of you do, and make it a point. Pay attention to what's going on over the weekend and give us a call Monday. It'll be fun.
The rules and regulations for winning a prize, which is an option for each caller. You have to wait another week if you've just won, so you can win every other week. We have 3 classifications of prizes, pardon me. We have the Grand Salami, we have the Mystery Profile, and we have the Multiple Choice. And you can try the Mystery Profile once in a calendar month, and Multiple Choice time, 15 seconds, Grand Salami at 20, Mystery Profile clue by clue. First-time callers get more than one prize, and you are a first-time caller if you've not chimed in over the last year. DoubleTripleBob.com, which is my website, has answers to the trivia questions. We were just chatting about one before we went on the air. We're going to play around with it tonight.
He threw a couple of them out there. They were interesting.
Anyway, tune into my radio show Saturday mornings, where the hot dog guys got their start in the media. WAVL, we're Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock at 9:10 on the AM dial. And it's on sports history and sports nostalgia. No telephones, just sports history and sports nostalgia. So, for the heck of it, we were talking about the first team to appear in a World Series 3 times. Is that the way it was?
That's exactly how it was.
If you know, and you're going to be part of the program tonight, we're going to throw out an extra prize, a dozen of donuts, okay? So if you have it, even if you miss your question, and you can answer that one for us.
That's out on the table tonight, because you tried it with all of us that are here.
Nobody got it.
And none of us got it.
However, when you said what you said after you got it, it opened up a whole new...
Yeah, Pandora's box was then open. After we determined what it was, then it made a little bit more sense.
Okay. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with caller number 1. Hang in there, folks. Mike and I will be right back. We're anxious to talk with you. Stay with us. Welcome to Buffalo Bill's Roadhouse, the place for big appetites. Their great sandwich selection includes the Geronimo, piled high with generous portions of meat and fixings. Their barbecue ribs are the best in town. Half rack or full rack, they don't come better. Buffalo Bill's wings are everybody's favorite. Uniquely oven-baked, not deep-fried, and yet so crispy. Your choice of 13 flavored seasonings. Grab a bucket for the big game. Eat in or take out. Credit cards accepted. Buffalo Bill's Roadhouse, Freeport Road, New Kensington, across from Felderelli Square.
For over 38 years and 3 generations, Arnold Furniture has been the area's favorite furniture store. We have over 4 floors of living rooms, dining rooms, recliners, bedding, carpeting, and so much more.
You'll always find friendly personal service from one of the family.
And our prices consistently beat the competition, plus free local delivery and free setup guaranteed. Visit Arnold Furniture online at arnoldfurnitureinc.com or stop in and see us today.
AKLC Studios LLC is the place for your video and multimedia needs. Let AKLC Studios produce a unique television commercial for your business. At your location or in our studios, we're here to meet your needs. Ever want your own television show? Let us show you how. AKLC Studios LLC can even tape your special events and weddings. Whatever your multimedia need, call AKLC Studios LLC in Leechburg today. Professional quality at hometown prices. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Why do my customers choose Husqvarna Power Equipment? That's easy, because my landscaping crew has to rely on a durable product.
I need the performance and quality that Husqvarna provides.
And the innovative products that help me move on with my day.
For maintenance parts or accessories, I don't have to go far. I know my Husqvarna dealer is right around the corner.
Make the impossible possible and visit a Husqvarna dealer near you.
And as you just witnessed, your local Husqvarna dealer is Ace Hardware in New Kensington, which is right across from the ice rink on Falcon Park Road.
And we're in season for Husqvarnas right now.
You got it. I had one of those until I got too old to drive it.
I was going to
They wanted
say,
to take my license.
you gave up your duties.
All right, let's say hello to Tony, who was absent last week. Tony, I hope you're okay. You're not under the weather, are you?
No. Do me a favor. Will you tell the guy in the control room to turn up your phones, because I can hardly hear you.
Okay. Can you guys hear that?
Okay. So, all right, Tony, go ahead.
Well, you're a little better. How about Bob?
Testing 1 and 2.
Yeah, a little low, but if he could turn it up, it'll be fine.
Well, okay.
Go ahead, Tone.
All right. I got a question anybody out there could answer. I would love to know why. Why does McCutcheon take a lead?
Why does McCutcheon do what?
Take a lead off of first.
I don't know why.
He doesn't steal.
It's a riddle. He's not going anywhere.
He's going to get picked off. And the next guy's going to hit a home run. It's going to cost us a run. He might as well stand on the bag.
He might as well.
Yeah, or sit on the bag. I don't care.
Why
he's
does he
taking these big leagues like, oh, my God, he's going any minute. Going where? Back to first.
Why, when we're playing in St. Louis, does he play center field in Kansas City?
Yeah.
I always joked at home. I said, well, didn't he get to that one? I said, no, he started off in East Liberty.
Tony,
well, yeah,
bigger...
if he can get any deeper, he can sit with the fans, right?
Exactly. I think he has to buy a ticket.
That's why those pop-ups were, that fell in. That wasn't his fault, the shortstop's fault.
No, not at all. No,
right.
That's got to be caught by the center fielder.
That's unbelievable. I mean, the old rule is, you can come in, but you can't go back.
Right.
I understand that, but when a ball's hit, your first steps is back.
Well, here's my question about all that is, if he's going to play that deep, I guess that accounts for all those great catches he makes climbing the wall. By the way, I'm still waiting for the first one of those. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what is he guarding against by playing so deep. It's not like he stops anything.
I have no idea. I think maybe he's hurt.
Oh, I think he's hurting. I think he's definitely hurting, but I don't think it's enough that's explaining a less than 200 batting average and all the rest of the stuff that's going on. Watch him run. There's no limp. I mean, it's not like he's dragging a leg like Mickey Mantle used to.
Yeah. Or Ralph Kiner.
Yeah, I mean, he's not 100% sure. I buy that. But then again, who is most of the time? And
well, he wasn't 100% last year because he played deep, and the year before that he played deep.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but what are you guarding against? Best center fielder I ever saw was Paul Blair, and he played about 3 steps behind the second base back.
It seemed like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it was a week ago.
Yeah, but
can he hear me?
Typical,
Go ahead, Tone.
What's that?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I couldn't hear what you were saying.
I know.
It's a typical, Pirates. They're now they're getting that great pitching, and they just can't buy a fly ball.
No,
let alone a hit.
It's amazing. And they'll probably. I talked about this yesterday with some friends while I was watching the game, and that was that imagine what they have to hit now for the next 5 months just to get their batting averages up to their career average.
Oh my God.
And if they do that, they'll win a lot of games. But what if they wasted here the last month that they'll never be able to get back? That's the question. They wasted a lot of good pitching. I know that.
Now, yesterday with the bases loaded, there's Harrison playing 10 feet off the back. If the ball goes down the line, the game's over, right?
I heard somebody mention that this morning, that they wish he was closer to the line, and I thought of you right away because you called a couple weeks ago and brought that up.
Yeah, and if you remember the play, do you remember the play?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the guy on third for St. Louis doing? He stopped and turned around and looked behind him.
Exactly.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Space is loaded, son. There's nowhere to go.
There's nowhere to go. You got one choice. The ball's on the ground. You got to go.
Yeah, it was on the ground. It wasn't like it was a line drive.
Right.
I could see it was a line drive.
You didn't have to freeze on it or anything.
Yeah, I said, what's he doing? You know what? He'll be with the Pirates next year.
It's
maybe
funny.
At the end of the year.
It's funny. We focus on the mistakes like that the Pirates make, but you see them all over the place.
With St. Louis?
It's an epidemic. It's with everybody.
Now, a week ago, we sat here and we were talking about Adam Wainwright. He's not going to be in uniform for quite a while.
Right.
And this is an opportunity to go to St. Louis. We got to win at least one.
Mm-hmm.
No. I don't know. We just don't have the team to do that.
Well, Tony, you ready? Here's our Sportsline stat of the night, and this the research department worked on this yesterday afternoon during the game. Starting in August of 2013, which is when the Pirates really started to contend, right, for the first time. Starting in August of 2013, the Pirates are 4-18 at Busch Stadium, including the playoffs.
Oh, I believe it.
4 out of 22.
Yeah.
And that's the reason they don't win the division. There it is right there. You don't have to go any deeper than that.
And when you got, a coach, manager, or I don't know what year, should never be, but, Bozo the Clown sitting there chewing his cud, which is bubble gum probably.
It is.
It does not try to manufacture anything. They still can't bunt. They don't do anything to try to move a guy in scoring position.
We're back to that thing again. If the ball doesn't go over the fence, they can't score.
That's right. That's about it. It is ridiculous. And Harrison signed that big contract, and he's
what was the hurdle?
Now he's up there swinging at his strike zone is anything in the ballpark.
Well, the stat on him is I think it's in his last 18 at bats, 2 walks. And 16 strikeouts.
There you go. Now, how can a guy that performed the last 2 years, like he did, turn to that?
Well, maybe he's pressing.
If I had that kind of money, I wouldn't be pressing. I'd be so relaxed up there knowing that I'm set
Tony.
for life. So, let's just keep playing like I was.
Play like it's fun, exactly. Now they're going to bust that. They're going to break out of it, and they'll hit, and it'll get better, and it'll be fun to watch again. And it's
Well, sooner or later it has to happen. But the trouble is,
what are you
they
doing?
all or they don't.
In the meantime, what have you done to your chances? Is the point? I mean, and the Cardinals have the best record in baseball. And now the one thing I always do at this point of the year is that I never look to see how far out of first place you are. I never look at the games behind because I always use it dependent upon what the first place team's record is. I always go games behind 600 percentage because 600 is going to win the division. The Cardinals are playing 7-something ball. That doesn't continue. So you know that even though it's 6.5, it's less than that. But still, the whole point coming out of spring training was that they were going to do everything. They had changed everything, and they put it in their computers, and they studied everything to make sure that this wouldn't happen again, and it happened again.
And here we are, sweetheart, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Play it again, Sam.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Hey, I would, that's the Pirates. So that's what everybody has to say. Just the Pirates.
It better be sooner than later because I don't want to have a summer with nothing to look forward to.
Well, you know what? If they keep doing this for a period of time, they're going to be out of it before the middle of the season.
Teams do run away and hide in divisions and win it
early.
It's
true.
And it's some people have said you don't win the division in April, but you can lose it in April when it does happen.
Yeah, I mean, the way they're going, everybody's going to run away and hide on them, But anyway, you know what? What they didn't do with all that planning you said they had all winter and through spring training and that, what they didn't do is go out to get some quality ball players, a couple at least, another good starter. Of course, I'm not complaining about the pitching, but that's not going to last forever.
You're not going to make it with both Worley and Locke at the rotation at the same time, and it doesn't get any better when Charlie Morton comes back.
No, I hope he never comes back.
See,
you know what I mean? I'm sorry to say, but
it's the replacement doesn't exactly work out in that situation. So
and oh well, so goes the Pirates. And what do you think the Steelers draft?
Well, I was kind of lukewarm to it, but the people that are paid to analyze these things and are neutral, that aren't fans of the team like I am, seem to like it. I've seen B plus, and Mel Kiper gave it an A-. I'm not a big fan of the Bud Dupree guy, but here's the thing. He was ranked by most people in the top 10 through no fault of his own. He fell. They felt they had to take him, so they took the guy, and it's like, okay. And then, look, I'm not, being 5'6" my entire life, I'm not going to cut on a guy because he's 5'8" or 9. So
no,
And the point is that Golson got his hands on the ball, and I also like the other corner from Ohio State. So it's not as if they didn't take a look at the needs that they had. They did, and they say, well, we take the best guy. Well, it just so happened that all but 2 of their draft picks happened to be defensive players.
Okay, now, out of the 120 was in that draft. Okay. I think it was the Valley or the Post-Gazette. I forgot which paper it had. They had the top 10, in every department.
Okay.
And you could keep your score as they draft them.
Sure.
Okay. So the Steelers had eight draft choices, right?
Right.
6 of them were in the top 10. Of their, whatever they play, corner, receiver, or whatever. So that ain't bad.
No, it's not. And and especially the guys down at the bottom. Now I know Jesse James, obviously, because he went to Penn State, and I've seen him play. I mean, he looks like a pretty good player to me. I've seen
that? The tight end?
You grab a couple corners. You needed him. I was going to say, could Bud Dupree be any worse than Jarvis Jones? But I'm not going to say that because
Are we talking about Jesse James when you said Penn State?
Jesse James, Penn State. That's right.
Yeah, he was number 3 on his list of tight ends.
For tight ends,
yep.
a good player. I mean,
yeah.
And they didn't throw the ball to him much, but they said he can walk in right today and block for you. That's fine.
Yeah, yes sir. He's big enough to do it. He better be able to block.
He is. Hey, we don't have too many South Allegheny guys in the NFL.
No, you're right.
Might be a first for me. I can't think of anyone else.
I don't know.
Tony,
You'd have to
it's
look
trivia
back,
time.
maybe somewhere along the line,
It's trivia time if you're eligible.
Okay, now hold on. What was that question you asked earlier? Because I didn't hear it at all. Something about
what Major League Baseball team was the first to make appearances, not that they won, what was named the first Major League team to be in a World Series 3 times?
They were the first. Well, I don't know. Well, when it first started, it was the Pirates in Washington.
No. First to go to their 3rd World Series.
To go to their 3rd World Series.
Right. Name the first team to appear in 3 World Series is the simplest way to do it.
All right. That's from the beginning, from the first World Series on. Is that what you're telling me?
Right. Now, the Pirates won 3 pennants in a row back in those days. I believe they won in 01, 02,
they didn't go to 3 World Series.
Right. They didn't have the World Series till I believe 03.
03.
So they didn't get to go to all those World Series.
And it's not a trick name like Fort Wayne or Schenectady.
No. I understand.
Okay. They're still playing.
I can imagine. So
darn,
that's a tough one. But everybody's going to say Yankees, and I know that ain't right.
No, the Yankees didn't come into existence until I believe 19.
Well, they were the Highlanders.
They
but
were the
still.
Highlanders. And they were in Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, I know the Pirates was in the first World Series with Washington, right? Senators, or whatever they called them.
It was Boston, actually.
Or Boston. Okay,
it was
Boston.
Pilgrims.
That's right.
It was 1903.
All right. How about Boston?
It's not. And that,
okay, good.
I think that's what I said.
We got rid of that.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
let's go on with your question. What do you want to do?
I think I'll pass.
Oh, okay.
He's kidding.
No, there's a reason.
There's a reason.
Are you serious?
I'm passing.
Okay.
I'm dropping back 10 yards.
Oh,
Fake
you're
the
gonna
pass
punt.
and
Oh,
I'm
you're going to
punting.
punt a day. I got you.
All right. So
We
maybe
will-
next Monday.
And
Gotcha.
we will let everybody know at the end of the program, if nobody gets that answer, what the answer is, okay?
Well, I won't know that till Thursday.
Okay. Tony, thanks for the call.
You
All right,
can
take
call
care.
me later,
Bye.
I'll tell you. All right, Tom.
All right, break time here in the program. Coming back, Terry is raring to go. Stay with us. We'll be back in a flash.
Parkview Tavern on First Avenue in Breckenridge has 16-ounce Budweiser and Bud Light drafts for just $1.50 all day, every day. Just $1.50. Stop by the Parkview Tavern on First Avenue and enjoy a cold Bud Light. Here we go.
This is where you get the absolute freshest deli meats and cheeses. Fazio's Italian Deli in Arnold. At Fazio's, you're getting only the best and freshest selection. Fazio's has its own bakery and offers you fresh baked bread, rolls, pastries, and more. Pick up individual salads to go, Italian sausages, hoagies, custom-made sandwiches, even party trays for your next get-together. Freshness and quality every time at Fazio's Italian Deli, Leishman and Dre in Arnold. Westmoreland Insurance Services isn't like your ordinary insurance agency. Not only can you get a variety of quotes from leading insurance companies, but you can purchase that protection through Westmoreland Insurance. Westmoreland provides a full range of coverage for all of your automobile needs. Westmoreland Insurance Services, putting your family's safety in their family's hands for almost 40 years. Give them a call, 724-337-3557.
Parkview Tavern on First Avenue in Breckenridge has 16-ounce Budweiser and Bud Light drafts for just $1.50 all day, every day. Just $1.50. Stop by the Parkview Tavern on First Avenue and enjoy a cold Bud Light. Here we go.
All right, we're back on the show, and again, Bob Tattern and Mike Pavlik here tonight with you. 724-236-0430. Terry's on the line with us. Terry, by the way, congrats on your recent win for the Salami Prize.
Hey, well, thanks. And thanks for the personalized delivery and everything, too.
Oh, yeah.
Even better than
Yeah.
It's like Publishers Clearinghouse. They come pulling up to the front door.
Is there another talk show anywhere in the country that delivers a prize?
No, I don't think. Hey, I'm going up to see the Altoona Curve in a couple of weekends.
Oh.
Minor league baseball.
What a great pitching staff they have so far.
Yeah,
My
I've been
goodness.
practicing watching minor league baseball by tuning in the Pirates and the Indians.
Right. Correct.
Tony already brought up one of the things I was going to mention, and that was that pop fly to center field, which was a guaranteed out if McCutchen had done anything other than trot in. And I mean, how do you get to the major leagues and not know that the center fielder's in charge? How do you know, or how do you get to the major leagues and not know that an outfielder calls off an infielder? I mean, it's unbelievable the things you see anymore.
Basic fundamentals. And like I was telling Tony, it's not just here. It's an epidemic. It's everywhere.
Yes. Now we'll go to the Indians. Same day, probably an hour earlier.
You're really torturing yourself.
Yeah. Carlos Santana, their first baseman, former catcher, hits a single. He's standing on first base. Next batter hits a high pop-up to the pitcher. One of the umpires, or a bunch of them, I don't know, call the infield fly roll. When the pitcher catches the ball behind the mound, he looks around and Santana is on the far side of second base. So he takes a couple steps towards first and tosses the ball over to first for an easy double play.
Correct.
I mean, really? I mean, I can't explain that unless Santana thought there were 2 outs. And, you know, what are these guys thinking of? What's the first base coach doing? You know?
That's right. He's got a coach to tell him, get your butt back.
The applicable part of the infield fly rule, I believe, is the part that says, at your own risk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a shame. I mean, and maybe I don't remember this kind of thing from you know, say the 60 Pirates or something, because I was so young when I watched them, and everybody was perfect, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've seen Clemente make errors. I saw Clemente peel a ball off the right field fence at Forbes, turn and, you know, unleash a laser to third base, and it went straight as a string up to about the 10th row behind third base. But he didn't do stupid things,
Exactly.
you know?
Well, that's what, you know, Bob Prince always used to preach it when I was a kid about, you know, you can deal with physical errors because those are going to happen. It's an imperfect game played by imperfect people. But it's the mental errors that in the long run, it's the mental errors that are what kill you. And the thing that separates the really good teams from the not so good teams are that the really good teams make fewer mental errors. I also think that the more mental errors comes with better ball player. You know, comes with the fewer mental errors that you make, the better ball players you have, and it kind of will cut down on it in the long run. But there's an epidemic out there, Terry. I'm telling you, and it's every team.
It's like nobody practiced. It's nobody taught anything.
It's just different, and I don't know.
I love all the one-handed catches, and 99% of the time they are routine. But then there's the guy that looks like a dope because he dropped one that he should have had 2 hands on. You know?
Marte in St. Louis a couple of years ago. You remember that's one of the 18 out of the last 22 they lost there. Yeah.
Yep. Best center fielder I ever saw would not be Paul Blair, but I would go with Bill Verdon on defense.
Yes, yeah, he's before me. I didn't see him, but you know that he has certainly had the reputation of being that, and especially having to play that enormous outfield at Forbes Field.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah.
Which was not. I mean, you know, people think that the left center at PNC Park is big. But if you put PNC Park inside of the map inside of the map of Forbes Field, it's not even close. 457 to left center field, and he had to corral all of that.
Now, everybody raved about Gary Maddox in Philly. It was like water covers 67% of the Earth's surface, and Gary Maddox covers the rest, or whatever they used to say.
That's Ralph
and you know, he was good, but I just, you know. It's like I said last week about the fences. You know, you did not see Willie Mays climbing fences and catching the ball that's over the wall because they were brick. You couldn't climb them. You know?
Exactly. Andy Van Slyke was a very, very good center fielder too, and that, you know, that was another one that we get to see here on a regular basis. So good that they moved Barry Bonds to left field no matter what he thought.
Yeah. And that's another point. Is McCutchen really a left fielder and they just don't have anybody they're comfortable with?
I'll tell you what, Terry, I think he's a right fielder even. And
I don't. Not with the Army has.
Well, not with the Army has, but I'm talking about the ballpark. I mean, could you imagine if you put him in left field in that ballpark?
I see what you mean. Yeah, because it's so deep.
Where he'd be standing. I mean, he threw a guy out the other day. That's probably the first guy I've seen him throw out in 2 years. So I don't think his arm's a factor at all. Now Polanco's a terrible outfielder, but he has a hose. I mean, I think that Marte's the best of the three as far as chasing it down and with the arm. But easily McCutchen's the worst arm of the three. He's a better outfielder than Polanco. Polanco's was not as advertised defensively when he got here. Let's put it that way.
Pretty soon there's going to be a platooning system where you're going to have 9 different batters and 9 different defensemen.
I think you could. I think 9 fielders and 9 batters. Yeah,
I think we're getting closer to the DH every day, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know, it's good and bad. I mean, I enjoy the American League games when we go up to Cleveland and things keep moving and moving and moving. It does take away the strategy.
Yeah, you know.
And to me, you know, if you're going to have pitchers bat, they ought to be able to hit more than 083 or whatever it is. I mean, they ought to be able to hit 150 if you just give them batting practice, abbreviated batting practice every day. I mean, you know.
You know what's I think about often is why has it been 40 years plus that the National League has ignored this thing if it's so great?
Yeah.
Well, it'll never change the other way. I can promise you that. The union won't allow the DH to go away in at least half. It just won't happen. So I think.
And it's never a part of a collective bargaining agreement.
I mean, the union. Well, the union would have to vote on it to change the rule. They don't do anything without the union getting a vote on it now. The owners just can't unilaterally say we're getting rid of the DH. The players would walk tomorrow. It would, and I don't blame them. I'd walk with them. You can't run your business that way.
Speaking of which, what do you think of the Rodriguez situation?
As far as
they were supposed
not paying him the bonus for the.
It's not. It isn't a bonus though, and when I read into it a little further, it isn't where the contract stipulates that when you hit your 660th home run, we owe you X.
Mm-hmm.
That isn't what it says. What it says is when you hit your 660th home run, at our option, we enter into a marketing agreement with you that we will pay you X, and then we will market the fact that you hit your 660th home run, and everything that is made off of that marketing agreement, I believe it's $8 million. We pay A-Rod $8 million, and then everything that is made off of that marketing agreement, we, the Yankees, take all of that money back. Well, they have made a determination that they can't make $8 million off of him now, so they said they're not paying it to him. And after I heard it like that, I said, you know what? They have a legitimate beef, and I don't think they're going to have to pay it.
Sure.
I thought it was a straight bonus too until I did a little reading on it. It's not.
I haven't really read anything on it other than just secondhand information I've heard.
It's a marketing agreement where basically what the Yankees do is buy the marketing rights off of A-Rod for, I believe it's $8 million. They buy the marketing rights off of him, and then it's up to them to market it. And anything they could make off of the fact that he passed Willie Mays or caught Willie Mays, then they collect all that money, and they made the determination. They don't think there's $8 million in it.
You know what? If Babe Ruth had that kind of foresight when he was playing to know that nobody, until at least, when did Aaron do this? In
1974.
Yeah, 74, when he finally caught up with him and surpassed him, that Ruth would have demanded and gotten without any union.
Exactly.
To live comfortably and then some.
He would have gotten it at hot dogs.
Well, anyway.
He would have gotten the hot dog guys on there. But could you imagine if Babe Ruth was in the time of the hot dog guys? Could you imagine the possibility of the licensing and the marketing and joining those two forces together? It would have been unstoppable.
There you go.
It would have been.
Terry, you're eligible.
All right. Well, let's give a mystery profile a shot then.
Michael, can I do that? Okay.
Go ahead. Do I get a shot at that other one?
Sure.
My wild guess is the Giants.
It's not, and that was my guess too. So
okay.
we're together. I don't feel so bad now.
And for the rest of the people just tuning in, name the first Major League team that appeared in 3 World Series.
Right. That's where we're at.
Okay. Terry, mystery profile. It is sponsored by the great people at Mattio's Pizza and Subs. And by the way, what did I do with that little slip of paper? Stay with that, guys, right on the screen. I get my little commercial here written on a piece of paper that's about 4 by 5. These are the awards won by Mattio's. 2013, they got the Silver Award. This is a Western Pennsylvania Trib Total Media thing, okay? Silver Award, Best Pizza Shop. In 2014, they got the gold for the best sandwich. Also that same year, they got the silver for best pizza shop. And in 2014, also last year, the Voters' Choice as best pizza in the Berg, which is contest by 100.7, star 100.7. So great pizza. Check them out. Sandwiches as well. Mattio's Pizza. 724-904-7312. Okay, Terry, here we go.
Thank you.
Thanks for bearing with me. All right, in a decade of pitching, I was a 20-game winner in 8 of those 10 years.
20-game winner. And this is any decade? I didn't understand your phrase, decade of pitching.
In a decade of pitching, in a 10-year span.
Okay.
He was a 20-game winner in 8 of those 10 years.
Walter Johnson.
All right, we'll scratch number 1. Number 2. I hold the career record for most wins by a pitcher for the team that I played for.
Wow. That's kind of wide open. Cy Young.
Nope. All right. Down to $50. In the almost 4,000 innings I pitched, I never gave up a grand slam.
Jeez. $4,000 innings, huh? Well, I'll go with an answer I used a few weeks ago, Christy Mathewson.
No. Down to $25. I was a World Series winning pitcher in 3 different decades.
Boy.
Take
My wife says Jim Palmer.
You got it.
Is that right?
That's
Yep.
it.
Yes, it is. You're right.
Wait, no. Was that your wife?
Yeah, she got it right. She didn't even hear the question. She just heard me guessing pitchers.
You know what? That's not fair.
That's beautiful.
She now says that the only thing she remembers about Jim Palmer is his underwear commercial.
That is the Tinker Toy.
That's the Tinker Toy question.
That's the Tinker Toy clue.
All right, can we see that, guys? Throw up the Tinker Toy clue. I got creative.
Oh, brother.
On this clue. Can you guys throw it up one more
There it
time?
is.
As a bird, I endorsed a certain brand of men's underwear. For the life of me, I can't remember what. Was it Jockey?
It was Jockey.
Jockey shorts.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
My mother loved Jim Palmer and loves Jim Palmer to this day, probably for the same reason.
Hey,
That
Terry,
is pretty
congrats
funny.
on that.
Thanks, Terry.
All
Well,
right.
you know what? You guys are going to have to put a Roger Maris asterisk on my win tonight.
Because your wife did it.
Yes.
Hey, there's no rules. There were no rules against getting help from people in your household. That's perfectly
Even when they
legit.
don't know what they're talking about.
It's perfectly legit. You used your lifeline wisely.
All right, Terry, thanks again.
Thank you, guys.
In the meantime, we have somebody else on hold and ready to go when we come back.
Yeah, here. Jim Palmer, between the years of 1970 and 1978, won 20 games, and those were the 8 years you talked about. He won 8 out of 9, 20 games. In 1974, he was 7-12. I don't know what the story was there, but 3.27 ERA. He only threw 178 innings, so I'm assuming there was an injury involved.
Yeah.
In 1974, 20, 20, 21, 22, then the 7-win year, then 23, 22, 20, and 21.
Great.
The guy was fantastic, and still does TV games with Gary Thorne with the Orioles now.
Those two sound great together.
Oh, they're terrific. It's a great broadcast. It really is.
We're going to take a break, and the engineers have been screaming for 3 minutes. Take a break.
We have callers,
So,
too. So.
yeah, callers, hang in there. We're
Hang in
coming
there.
right
We'll
back.
get you.
6:39. Since 1914, the local area has relied on the Resevich family of funeral homes in deepest times of need. The Resevich family is the oldest established name in the funeral profession in the AK Valley, now 100 years strong and still doing things right. Its reputation and unquestionable service now continues with a 4th generation. The Resevich family of funeral homes, 5th Avenue Arnold and Leechburg Road in Lower Borough.
AKLC Studios LLC is the place for your video and multimedia needs. Let AKLC Studios produce a unique television commercial for your business. At your location or in our studios, we're here to meet your needs. Ever want your own television show? Let us show you how. AKLC Studios LLC can even tape your special events and weddings. Whatever your multimedia need, call AKLC Studios LLC in Leechburg today. Professional quality at hometown prices. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
380 Auction and Discount Warehouse, Route 380, Murraysville.
Automotive supplies, groceries, housewares, pet supplies.
All at discount prices.
Sofas, dining tables, recliners, dressers and desks, lamps and end tables.
All at discount prices.
Yard and landscaping supplies, special catalog orders, mattresses with full warranties.
All at discount prices.
School supplies, tools, paint, toiletries, model cars, toys.
All at discount prices. Get to 380 Auction and Discount Warehouse today, Route 380, Murraysville.
Don't forget my radio show on Saturday morning, WAVL, pardon me, WAVL Radio, they're 9:10 on the AM dial, Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. Sports history, sports nostalgia.
And our question we're asking everybody, Bob dug this up before the show. The first team to go to the World Series 3 times, the first 3-time World Series participant. We've had 2 guesses so far, the Red Sox and the Giants, and those are both wrong.
Well, I thought when he said the Boston, I thought he meant the Braves. Really doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter,
okay.
but it was neither Boston team. So
Okay, let's go to
Tampa.
Tampa Bay.
It's Bill. Hey.
Hey
Bill.
guys, what's up?
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Hey, I want to take a guess at I'd say the Yankees.
It's not the Yankees. The Yankees didn't come into being until later on. The first 3 World Series would have been in the early 1900s, and the Yankees were not.
But even if he had said their old name, the Highlanders,
New York Highlanders,
it wouldn't have been it.
No, they as a matter of fact, I don't believe the Yankees got to the World Series until Babe Ruth was on the team, which would have been not until, I believe, 1921, I think was their first trip after he had been sold to the Yankees from the Red Sox.
All right, hey, I just want to let you guys, all of the Pirate fans, know last year they were 12-20. This year they're 12-13, so they're still in the hunt for anything going on.
Yeah, the great part is,
an update.
As bad as it's going, they're still only 1 game under 500, and they have a 6-game homestand coming up. So
it's better than being 8 below like they were last year.
The pitching's been really good, though.
The Cubs series was disappointing.
The pitching is good, and I think what needs to happen, I think McCutchen needs to be sitting down for a few days. 2 hits in the last 38 at bat don't help. It don't help, and that's my opinion about that.
You know, they take the camera, Mr. Tampa Bay, and they follow the guy into the dugout after his at-bat. You can read what's going on in his mind.
Neil Walker's
he
like that.
He takes that bat and he slams it in the slot, and then he just stares into space like, what is happening to me?
Watch Neil Walker. Neil Walker, you can tell after every at-bat exactly what he's feeling. He has that expressive face that you know when he's hot, you know when he's happy, and when he's not, and that's fine. At least you know they care.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I have no worries about the Pirates, but after McCutchen's bad day yesterday, hitting the wall twice and falling on, going for that ground ball, I think he needs a break for a few days, maybe get his head back together. Look at Alvarez. He got walked 7 times yesterday, or this weekend. I
know. Well, they didn't. They knew. It was funny because it was almost like they knew that even though nobody was really hitting, the only way we could hurt them was for somebody to hit a home run, and they knew that he is the most likely guy to do that. And so they were literally staying away from him. I think Mercer was hitting behind him, and Mercer's not hitting it at all. So they kept working around him, and finally the kid makes a mistake, leaves him one in the middle of the plate, and he hits it 400 and some feet.
Let me ask the both of you. And even the guys in the control room, I don't know if you want to get involved. There's a balk rule that is seldom called, and this is the rule. When a pitcher is going through the motions of an intentional walk, the catcher is not allowed to step out of the catcher's box until the ball has left the hand. They're going out too early. The umpires don't call it.
No, they don't. It happens a lot. The only time,
Michael, when they're throwing an intentional walk, you don't have to gun it at 85 miles an hour.
The only time I've ever seen it called is in Little League. Really, I've seen it called in Little League.
But it's a rule
on a couple occasions. Well, it is a rule, but it's also that the interpretation of a balk is deceiving the runner, and I don't think they're trying to deceive the runner. And
but it's a different interpretation when it's a catcher.
There's also
because they're saying it's a catcher's balk, has nothing to do with the pitcher.
Well, there's that.
So anyway, my opinion, I wish they'd call it. All right, so Mr. Tampa Bay, congratulations on your win last week.
Thank you.
thank you for the call tonight. And who did you guys say was up next?
Mark.
Mark, how you doing, man?
Good evening, fellas.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, two things happened over the weekend. I don't know if the Pirates losing the 3 in extra innings, and they said, I think it was within 2 or 3 days, 2 runners were hit by a batted ball for the out in the game.
It was in the same day.
Yeah, the same day.
It was in the same day, and it was both Los Angeles teams. The Angels were the first to get bit by it. The ball, and I'm not exactly sure who did it to whom, but it was both LA teams. The Angels was the first game. The Dodgers was the second game. It was a batted ball, a ground ball between first and second base. The runner was running towards second, and the ball hit him.
He's out.
He's out. The game's over. It's a single. It's the oddest occasion where the batter hits a single and the game is over. And then it hadn't. And then like 4 hours later, it happened in the Dodger game. Same thing. And they said that it hadn't happened, Mark, since 2010. That a game had not ended on a runner being hit with a batted ball since 2010. The runner that was hit by that batted ball to end the game was Pedro Alvarez.
I'll be darned.
I wasn't aware of that until they mentioned it yesterday. They said Tim Neverett mentioned it on the TV.
But did it ever happen twice, 2 games the same day? Did that ever happen in history?
I'm guessing they were looking, but they couldn't. They never said specifically whether it had, but they had only mentioned that a game hadn't ended that way since 2010.
Now, is that a Pirate record for losing 3 in a row in extra innings? Did they ever say anything about that or check that, 3 games?
I'm assuming that if it's a 3-game series, it could only have been tied anyway. Now, remember the Cincinnati series at the beginning of the year, they lost all 3 of those on their last at-bat, but I believe only two of those were in extra innings. That the opening game they lost on a home run in the bottom of the 8th, Reds last at-bat, the Pirates batted in the 9th, Chapman got them out, and then they lost the next 2 in extra innings. So it's happened. It's they basically had the same series twice. They had the opening series in Cincinnati was exactly the same script almost.
Can I answer that question Bob was given
Absolutely.
earlier?
Please.
And you're still eligible for the other one.
Yeah, I'm still. Pardon me?
You're eligible for both.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Was it Philadelphia?
No.
No, not the A's.
No, not the A's. No.
Nope.
Which are now the Oakland A's. Okay.
That is correct, and with a stop in Kansas City in between.
Yeah.
What caught my eye with this question was that the manager's name is mentioned in a very popular way.
Mm-hmm. And that was those teams.
Yeah.
It was then. That is correct.
Okay.
I'll have to watch Thursday's show to see the rest since I'm on just the phone way. Okay, I guess I'll go for multiple choice.
All right, Mark. Let's see if we can get a winner here. Yeah, well, we will give the answer before we go off because we don't want. It'll make you guys have to tune in on Thursday, like you said, Mark. Here we go. This will be number 3, multiple choice. Who holds the World Series record of striking out the most batters? Now, this is cumulative. This is over a career. The World Series record for striking out the most batters, and here are your choices: Bob Gibson, Whitey Ford, Sandy Koufax, or Allie Reynolds. Most World Series strikeouts career.
How about Whitey Ford?
Whitey Ford is correct, Mark. That is I'm sure you logically went through that thinking Yankees, how many games he pitched.
Yeah, he was. And I would forget he pitched close to 15 years or more.
He did it, and they won the pennant all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw this. Sandy Koufax was mentioned in here. That A.J. Burnett has been terrific. A.J. Burnett's ERA over 5 starts is 1.45, and he has no wins. That's nearly impossible.
Yeah, one quick thing, too. You were talking about Bill Verdon. I think, isn't one of the games, if you ever see, they have still pictures of him making a wild catch in the center field off of, I forget what Yankee. I think that saved the one game, or no?
In the World Series?
It might have been Mantle.
They have like 4 pictures. They took him real quick. Then he was leaping up like sideways, but lunging and high, and made a great catch. I had a picture somewhere years ago.
And I'm pretty sure that was one of the 3 games that was at Yankee Stadium. One of the games that they won in New York that he did that. It made it even closed out.
Yeah, because we won, 2 games in New York?
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
we won the first, lost the second and third, won the fourth, won the fifth, lost the 6th, won the 7th.
There you go.
And the first 2 were in Pittsburgh because of the way that odd even year or whatever.
Right.
So they played the other. I remember that from going back 50-some years. But, okay, I'm glad I won. Thank you very much, and have a good week.
All right.
You too. Hey, by the way, Burnett passed Sandy Koufax on the all-time strikeout list.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. Now that is something. It's like on the same day he did that was the same day that A-Rod caught Willie Mays.
Willie Mays.
So two of the great names of the 60s had records taken down on the same day.
The thing I was going to mention was, speaking of center fielders, Joe DiMaggio had that 56-game hitting streak. His brother, playing for the Red Sox, was it Dom?
That was Dom. Vince played for the Pirates. Yeah.
Okay. Dom had a hitting streak that was in the early 30s. And in his last at bat, he hits one to center field that Joe had to make a stupendous catch and ended his brother's career. We're going to take a break. Mike is going to look into it. I'm assuming that's what you were doing, right?
Just check and see if anything's up.
All right. Back in a flash, and Rich will be on the line with us. Stay aboard.
Parkview Tavern on First Avenue in Brackenridge has 16-ounce Budweiser and Bud Light drafts for just $1.50 all day, every day. Just $1.50. Stop by the Parkview Tavern on First Avenue and enjoy a cold Bud Light. Here we go.
Westmoreland Insurance Services isn't like your ordinary insurance agency. Not only can you get a variety of quotes from leading insurance companies, but you can purchase that protection through Westmoreland Insurance. Accidents happen. Are you prepared? You can be with a wide range of homeowners insurance options from Westmoreland Insurance Services, putting your family's safety in their family's hands for almost 40 years. Give them a call, 724-337-3557. My First Book on Sports is available not only through the internet, but at various local businesses in the AK Valley. It's Bob Tattern's Sports Minutes. Short sports stories, odd and unusual, fascinating and funny, only take about a minute to read. Go online to doubletripplebob.com, where links are provided for Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Word Association to get book information. Get your copy locally at Costello Printing in Tarentum, Blackburn's in Tarentum, Myrna's Brewery Outlet in New Kensington, or the Hot Dog Guys Lower Borough.
Parkview Tavern on First Avenue in Brackenridge has 16-ounce Budweiser and Bud Light drafts for just $1.50 all day, every day. Just $1.50. Stop by the Parkview Tavern on First Avenue and enjoy a cold Bud Light. Here we go.
Let's get Rich on the line. We're going to talk a little bit about the DiMaggio thing. So, Rich, how you doing tonight?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good, Rich.
Okay, wonderful.
Hey, that their question, is that the Chicago Cubs?
It is the
You
Chicago
got
Cubs.
it.
We finally got one. It took us 5 guesses, plus how many ever we tried beforehand. But it makes sense. It was 06, 07, 08, 1906, 07, and 08. And 1908 is the last time the Cubs actually won the World Series.
And what I was saying was that the guy's name, the manager, was in a popular phrase, to Tinkers, to Evers, to Chance, and it was Frank Chance who was player-manager of the Cubs in 1908 when they won their last World Series. And that's it. And Billy Cianis, you remember the story about the Billy Goat? He brought a Billy Goat to Wrigley Field and bought an empty seat where he put his goat down, and they threw him out of the ballpark, and in so doing, he put a curse on the Cubs, and they haven't won since.
They haven't won since. Well, they think they're going to win now. They have a good start on it anyway. They have some nice young players.
And in one of the late night shows, whether it was Johnny Carson or whomever, one of the Cianis grandsons came on the show to say, on behalf of the family, we're lifting the curse on the Cubs, and they still haven't won.
Well, now it's up to the Cubs now that the curse is gone.
Well, this year it could be the year, huh? For them, you think?
I don't know. They look good to me. I think they got a shot. I just don't know if they have enough pitching to hold up, though.
Hey, the Bucks, they're playing Cincinnati, but I don't think they're going to see Cueto.
No.
Lost yesterday.
Yeah, Cueto's going to miss this series, which is a good thing because I think they made a deal with the devil when they won that wild card game. They haven't beaten him since. They won that game, and he's beaten them every time out since. So I'm glad it's a good thing they won't see him. Hopefully they get themselves back on track here. With the Reds and the Cardinals coming in, they're going to need to get things straightened out and start hitting the ball a little bit. They're a much better team at home, so hopefully that will continue.
Can you believe Houston has a 10-game winning streak?
Isn't that amazing?
Nobody saw that coming. Dallas Keuchel was named Pitcher of the Month in the American League, and with an ERA of less than 1. Garrett Cole's the National League Pitcher of the Month, by the way.
And this is also the record, the milestone anniversary of Watson scoring the 1 millionth run in baseball, but in the uniform of a Houston Astros.
Milton May was in the middle of that too. Interesting thing about the Astros, and it'll be interesting to see if they're able to continue this as the year goes on. They dove headfirst into the sabermetric pool. They are 100% all analytics, all sabermetrics all the time. And they are. When Jeff Luhnow took over as the GM, and they have run the entire operation that way, and it seems to be bearing some fruit now. And we'll see if they can keep it up. It's a lot of teams get off to good starts, and then I mean, we just look at the Brewers last year, who, you know, a year ago the Brewers were running away with the Central Division, and now they fired their manager yesterday. So you can see how quickly things change after a collapse, but. We'll see if they can keep it up. It'll be interesting. That division might be there. A lot of people thought that Seattle was going to be the odds-on favorite there with Lloyd McClendon and those guys, but they haven't gotten off to a good start. And other teams with problems like the Angels and Oakland.
Last time I told you Russ Martin was hitting 083. He's up to 227 now.
Who's that?
Russell Martin for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, he'll be all right. I think he'll be okay.
Snyder, too, he's hitting 281 for the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, that still irritates me, Rich. I really don't know why they did that. Andrew Lambeau's 1 for 25. Would they be more willing to maybe sit McCutchen an extra day or two, just to maybe get his head straight? If you had that bat of Travis Snyder able to go in there and play for a couple of days, instead of having to basically waste 2 days with Andrew Lambeau in the lineup, who has 1 hit all year. I still don't know why they did that. It doesn't make any sense to me. It was penny wise and pound foolish, in my opinion.
Well, there's a possibility if he doesn't get shaped up, he might get sent down to the minors. They have that other kid down there. What's his name, Decker?
Hey, guys, shut your mic off in the control room. We can't hear Rich. There we go.
Do that again, Rich. Sorry about that.
I said that Lambeau has to watch it. He might be sent down to back down to the minors.
Well, you would think so, but you know, I don't know what kind of a scholarship exactly he's on. And Neil Huntington said yesterday that he is the unluckiest player in baseball. I guess when you're 1 for 25, that qualifies as being unlucky. But you know, they seem to have this. That Huntington seems to have this thing where he just loves the guy, and he's going to leave him here just so he's not proving himself wrong. I swear. And I don't understand the infatuation with him. Now he's the least of their problems right now. He's the 25th man on the roster. I get that, but you know. You basically do not have a left-handed bat on your bench.
We've got to get to trivia. We're running out of time, Rich.
Okay, I'm going to take multiple choice.
Good, Bob.
Okay, let's give it a shot. You have question number 4. What major leaguer hit into the most double plays in his career? And your choices are Cal Ripken, Hank Aaron, Ivan Rodriguez, or Carl Yastrzemski.
Cal Ripken.
Yes, indeed. He 350 times did he bounce into a double play. 3 winners on the show tonight.
Rich at the Daily Double. He got the Cubs question and he got that right.
So we'll send you out the extra prize of the delicious Donut Connection donuts. I
used them this weekend, Bob.
My favorite stop.
Yeah, they were fresh.
Thanks, Rich.
Hey, thanks, Rich. Appreciate the call. Guys, we got to run.
We do. We got to run. Nice show today. Thanks for calling, everybody. Thank you.
And appreciate that. We're back next week at the same time, same bat channel. I'm Bob Tatter.
I'm Mike Pavlik.
Robin.
It reminds me, Gotham tonight. Good night.
Thank you for watching Sportsline, brought to you by Ace Hardware, New Kensington, AKLC Studios in Leechburg, Arnold Furniture, 5th Avenue, Buffalo Bills, New Kensington, Fazio's Deli and Meats in Arnold, Highland Tire, Torrento and Natrona Heights, Mattio's Pizza and Subs, Brackenridge Heights, Resevich Family Funeral Homes, Lower Borough in Arnold, 380 Discount Warehouse, Murraysville, Tower Auto in Blonhoxt, and Westmoreland Insurance Services of New Kensington.